We see headlines about lawsuits and monopolies, but not the mechanics behind them. EconWorks looks past the talking points to find where law, economics, and markets collide. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. We hear the word antitrust thrown around all the time, right? Especially when we talk about big tech. But here's the thing. The rules of the game, they've completely changed. Today, we're going to break down the new playbook for how competition and control really works in the digital world. So when you think of a monopoly, what picture pops into your head? For like over a century, the answer to that was actually pretty simple. It was all based on this one classic idea. The old school way of thinking was that regulators were on the lookout for one main thing, a single company getting so huge, so powerful, that it could just jack up prices whenever it wanted and crush all its competitors. And that left you, the consumer, with way fewer options and a much lighter wallet. It was all about price. But that whole playbook kind of falls apart when you ask one very modern question, right? How on earth do you apply laws that were built to fight rising prices to services like Google Search or your social media feed from Meta, which, well, they don't cost you a dime to use? This is the central puzzle facing pretty much everyone in this space today. Because the battleground itself has shifted. It's not about who has the lowest price tag anymore. Nope. It's about who controls the entire digital environment. It's about this concept called platform governance. So think of a major tech platform like a digital landlord. Seriously, they own the property, the app store, the search engine, the social network, and they get to set all the house rules for the tenants. And who are the tenants? Well, that's app developers, businesses, and yeah, even us, the users. This governance, that's where the real power is today. And this landlord power isn't just one big, obvious action. As you can see here, it's actually a bunch of subtle but incredibly powerful levers. These are the tools that platform operators can pull to shape the whole market without ever touching a price. Okay, so let's break those levers down one by one. First, you've got access. Who even gets to play in the marketplace? Think about App Store rules. Second, defaults. What's the pre-selected search engine on your phone? That path of least resistance is unbelievably powerful. Third, ranking. Who shows up on page 1 of the search results? And finally, integration. That's how platform can give its own stuff a seamless, built-in advantage over everyone else. And look, this isn't just some academic theory. You can see it playing out in the real world right now. All the major platforms are using these exact levers to their advantage. Each one might have its favorite tool, but none of them have to do with price. Take Google, for example. A huge part of its power comes from being the default search engine on countless devices, which just drives an insane amount of usage. Apple, on the other hand, really flexes its muscle through its App Store governance. It acts as the gatekeeper, controlling access and setting the rules for the entire marketplace. Same principles, just different tactics. But just pulling these levers isn't the whole story. The real secret sauce, or, the real problem, depending on how you look at it, is how this power starts to feed on itself. It grows and grows, almost like a snowball rolling downhill. And there's a name for this: dynamic effects. It sounds a little academic, but it's basically a fancy term for a really powerful feedback loop. The choices a platform makes don't just have a one-time impact. They kick off a cycle that just gets stronger and stronger every single time it goes around. So here's exactly how that powerful loop works. Let's trace it. It all starts with usage, often kicked off by being the default option. All that usage generates a massive amount of data. That data then gets fed back into the system to improve the service, which leads to better performance. And, of course, a better, smarter product attracts even more usage, which starts the whole cycle all over again. This is how you build a competitive moat. It's a cycle that can lock out rivals, not because our product is bad, but because they just can't break into this loop. Okay, so this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I know what you're thinking. If my search results just keep getting better and my social feed is totally free, who's actually getting hurt here? And that's a fair question. The answer isn't about your wallet, at least not directly. The source material really puts it perfectly. The harm here is a lot more subtle. It's about what doesn't happen. It's about the cool new companies that never even get off the ground, the better privacy features that never get built, and the real choices we, as consumers, never even get a chance to make because the game is already tilted. So to just boil it all down, the real cost isn't something you pay from your bank account. It's a cost paid by the entire digital world. The price is slower innovation, fewer meaningful choices for all of us, and a lot less pressure on the big guys to ever truly improve things like our privacy. Because why would they? Their feedback loop keeps them sitting comfortably right on top. And that leaves us with this huge, unanswered question for regulators, for the tech companies, and honestly for all of us. When the product is free and the entire competitive playbook has been rewritten from scratch, what does a truly fair and competitive market even look like anymore?
Thanks for watching. For the deep dive economic analysis behind these stories, join us at econworks.com. Subscribe to stay informed on where law and economics meet the market. We'll see you in the next episode.